I cannot believe it's been a year since I showed up on YouTube. On the 13th of February 2025, I got a camera. What else did I get? I just got a camera, which came with this microphone, and I decided to film. And it's been a year, and this video is just going to break down all the numbers, everything I've seen, everything I've learned since I started YouTube, and hopefully this helps someone out there. Let's dive right into it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Abigail, and I started YouTubing on the 13th of February 2025. Today, I'm going to release this video on the 13th of February 2026, so that will be exactly 1 year since I started YouTubing. I'm going to break this video into the numbers and also what I've learned since I started showing up on YouTube. Okay, I created a new account to start YouTube, so I started from zero. And obviously, a few of my family members joined when I posted my first video. But from then till now, my subscribers are around 9,200. And so far, YouTube has paid me £2,618. Now, most of this money came from one main video, which was the second video that I posted. And that video currently has around 600,000 something views on it. From that video alone, I've made 2.4K, so £2,400. So if you look at it, majority of my money was made from that video. To be fair, when I got on YouTube, I didn't expect my videos to grow as fast as they did. But I would say that I got lucky, especially with that video. I did not have like a master plan to make me go viral or to get that video to have so many views. That was the second video that I posted. But after looking at how that video performed and the comments, people could tell that that video was very authentic. And to be honest, whatever I said on that video, I actually really meant it. I was quite sad during that period because I was trying so hard to sell that property and I just couldn't. And I thought, why did nobody tell me this? So I decided to like share my experience and hopefully other people who were in my situation will benefit from it. So that video, which has 644,000 views, is what has paid me the most on YouTube since I started. I also had one brand deal during my 1 year on YouTube. Now, moving on to all the things I've learned after spending 1 year on YouTube. The first thing I'll say is thumbnails and titles are very important. So, thumbnails and titles are the first look that your audience will have or see to click on your video. And also, the thumbnail and the title is what influences who YouTube shows your videos to. If there are specific words in the title, it helps YouTube to understand what audience to show your videos to. And if the thumbnail is attractive, then that audience or that person who sees your video will decide to click on it and watch it. Sometimes you have a lot of valuable content in a particular video, and I've seen it where I'll create some content and I know that this is really valuable, and I've seen how other creators who produce similar content perform, but that video does not perform as well as I would have expected. So when I see that, I usually like change my thumbnail or my title, and you can see a difference depending on what you put in the thumbnail and the title. The next thing I've learned is that YouTube tries to form a niche around you when you start. So let's say you start your YouTube and you're talking about money, or you're talking about property, or you're talking about a particular topic. If you end up changing the topic, what YouTube has done is that they know you and they know what you usually bring and they know which audience usually click on your videos. So when they send that particular video to the same audience, if that audience is not interested in that topic, then they won't click and watch the video. And then you start losing views, or you don't get as much views as you would like. So it's good for you to be consistent with your topics so that there's like a natural follow on, or it appeals to similar audience all the time. Because when YouTube starts showing your content to some particular audience, they start forming a niche for you and they keep showing that kind of content to that audience. And if you're changing the topic or the theme, maybe, then the audience will not find that particular topic interesting anymore coming from you. So then they will not be clicking on your video as often as you would like them to. The next thing that I learned from YouTube is people relate better when you are completely yourself. So there are different content types on YouTube, but if you want something that has your face in it, most people can relate better with you and would watch your videos when you sound authentic and you can put yourself out there. So, for instance, when I put out my story about buying my flat, I was very vulnerable and people could relate with that. So, the idea is to try and be yourself if you're putting content out there, and it helps best when you incorporate storytelling. I've seen that people relate better when whatever you're putting out there is well presented and also presented in a form of a story. I've seen more success presenting my ideas in a form of a story, or saying the story behind things I've learned rather than just teaching you all the things I've learned. I think also naturally people are just curious. So when you tell a story, people like to follow than when you just spewing out stuff. The next thing I've learned from being on YouTube is creating boundaries. So one thing about starting to post on YouTube or any social media platform is that when people start seeing you, they think they can have access to you. Did I put it right? I think so. They think they can have access to you. So apart from putting comments on a video, people would like go in and take your email address and email you and ask for personal favors. So I've had people message me and say, can I help them make money online? They want to make 3 times their money that in the stock market. Can I teach them? Or some people message me and say they are buying their house and they want me to guide them through the process. And I've had so many of these. And my thought process here is I'm happy to help, but if I have about 10 to 20 people reaching out to me to help them indirectly work for them, I need to put boundaries so they understand the extent to which they can have my time. Because when I put out a video, that's the time I've allotted for the video. And when I respond to comments, that's the time I've allotted to comments. But when people are now coming into your DMs or coming into your LinkedIn or your email and asking you for personal favors, out of which they might probably benefit financially, they think they're allowed to get it for free from you. You're supposed to use your time to help their particular situation. In general, people are selfish, so you need to understand how to put boundaries around yourself so that people don't waste your time. I'll give you a free example. So in the beginning, when I started putting out content, lots of people will reach out to me on LinkedIn or my emails and say, oh, I'm buying this house. Can you look at my mortgage rates for me? Blah, blah, blah. So the first 3 times I helped out, and I realized that I just had like a 45-minute session with someone, and I had helped them to realize the angle that they were going that may have not been helpful for them. And I realized, wait, the information I've given this person in their personal situation is very valuable. So later, I started incorporating booking a one-on-one call with me if you want to talk about your own personal situation. And that filtered out the people who just wanted to use my time for free, and also made me allocate time to help the people who are willing to pay for my time. So that's one of the ways by which you can think about it. The other one is you have a lot of people trying to come and sell stuff to you. This is people who claim they want to edit your videos, or people who claim they want to do your thumbnails for you. When YouTube has not started paying you and you start paying other people to do your editing and your thumbnails and all that stuff, you are spending money before you can even make money. And for me, I've told myself that unless I'm making money from something, I'm not going to be spending money with the hope that I'll make money. So I did not engage people to edit my videos, like people who reached out to me to edit my videos and do my thumbnails. I have a target I've set myself, and when I get there, I can outsource some of these things. So with that in mind, I'll move on to the next thing I've learned on YouTube, which has to do with editing. So editing your videos is very important, but I came to realize that I was over editing my videos at some point, and I wasn't getting the views I was expecting. So I had equated editing your videos to getting better views. But I realized very quickly that people even watched the videos that were not well edited more than even the ones that were overly edited. So now I don't spend too much time editing. Now there might be different opinions out there. Someone might say that maybe if I used professionals to edit my videos, or if I use professionals to do my thumbnails, then I would probably be getting more views and be making more money. I think it's a chicken and egg situation, and I'm choosing the path I want to take. Because the video that I mentioned, which was the highest paying video for me, wasn't overly edited. And a lot of people were even complaining that there was music in the background and they couldn't hear, but that video has still performed really well. Even the thumbnail on there was me just taking a picture of myself, finding an old picture of my apartment on my phone and just juxtaposing them. So I'm not totally convinced that I need to have like professional editing and professional thumbnails to get views. I think if you put your real stuff out there and it's clear and obvious, you will get the views. Lastly, what I wanted to talk about is that I've learned that there are 3 main ways by which I've seen people engage on videos. And why engagement is also important is that YouTube uses your engagement to push your video forward or your video further. So I noticed that whenever my videos had more comments, more likes, YouTube was sending it to more people. And when a video I posted didn't have enough comments, likes, or views, then it started tailing off. So the 3 main methods that I've seen that it rewards them the most is 1, if they are entertained, 2, if people can relate to their content, and 3, if people want to learn more from that person. So the first one is, I noticed that people who are just entertaining other people usually get a lot of views because people want to wind down when they are online scrolling on a particular platform. So when they get something that makes them laugh or makes them, enjoy a story like a movie or something like that, I did notice that most of those content got more views. The second one is if people can relate. So I think my viral video falls into that bracket where people could relate with that, and therefore it makes them comment naturally without me telling them, can you leave a comment? I now try to steer my content towards things that people can relate, or I don't really do entertaining content. So that's just one bracket I've just noticed because I started studying how people get views on their videos. And so I do content that people can relate with. The last thing I want to talk about is a content that somebody wants to learn from. So I also noticed that after putting content out there, people will come and ask questions. People will reach out personally. People now see you as an authority in a space, and therefore they want to know more. And that also helps your video to get a lot of engagement. So that's all I wanted to say about my 1 year in. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you thought this was interesting, if you've been looking at my stuff for a while now and you've been curious about whether this was worth it, I do think it's worth it because I have a lot to say and it's nice that I get to come and say it to you guys, because I guess my husband is tired of hearing me talk in the house all the time about all these things that I have to say. So it was a nice outlet to be on YouTube, and I will keep bringing you videos. If you found this helpful, share with someone and let me know in the comments. I will catch you later.